Let's look ahead at the top 10 pickups for Week 5 in your Fantasy Baseball League. Coming up next on Beat the Odds, don't go anywhere. Hello, baseball fans. Welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. We're going to take a look at the top 10 pickups for Week 5 in your Fantasy Baseball League. Before we get started, of course, if you like this content here, show me some love, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification button so that way you know whenever we drop an episode. Before we get started, we have a shout out to Jew here. David R. mentioned we should be picking up Liam Hendricks right now, and he is 100% correct. If he's available in your league, he's currently rostered in 68% of leagues. He just K'd 4 batters in an extended spring training game on Friday. Last year, of course, he was an elite closer, 37 saves, 13.3 K per 9. Chicago really needs a feel-good story right now. They are playing terribly, and Hendricks' arrival can't come soon enough. So if he's available in your leagues there, just go right now and pick him up because you will be well rewarded from now to the end of the season. All right, let's get started here with our top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, we have Isaac Paradis from Tampa Bay, batting 6th in the lineup there. 36% owned. Last week, he had 7 runs, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in on a .391 average here. High-powered offense, of course, you guys already know this year in Tampa Bay. They are putting up runs like it's nobody's business. And he's sitting typically in a good RBI spot there. In that lineup. Not a great batted ball profile here, but he's going to be able to get ample opportunities to post numbers given the playing time that he has been getting here. So if he's available, he plays multiple positions there as well. He could be a good pickup to stash on your bench here in most competitive leagues. Up next, we are going to go to Oakland. Shea Langoliers, batting 4th or 6th in the lineup there, depending on the day. 33% owned, 5 runs, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. 240 average here last week. He's, of course, a catcher, but he's hitting cleanup in many of these games here. Catchers that do that are fantasy gold. He's ranked currently 6th for catchers in at-bats, and he's 3 RBIs back of Jonah Heim for the RBI lead for catchers. So you can't really find a catcher that's that productive on the cheap here. On the waiver wire, he is definitely worth the pickup if you're sitting on somebody who is gone real cold and you're not too sure what to do. Give a look towards Shea Langoliers. I don't think you are going to be disappointed when you have him rostered. Coming up next, we're going to go to Philadelphia. We're going to look at Craig Kimbrell, 58% owned here. He pitched 2 innings here last week, 1 win, 1 save, 4 strikeouts. And 0s for ERA and for with hits innings pitched. It looks like he might be solidifying the closer role in Philadelphia. 8 straight scoreless appearances, and more importantly, 7 straight appearances without a walk. That has plagued him in the past here. It looks like he's kind of got himself centered on his command. The team is starting to win some games as well, and with Bryce Harper due back here any time now, that may put Craig Kimbrell into some more save chances down the road. So if he's available there, again, take a look. I don't think you're going to do much worse on a relief pitcher that you can find on the waiver wire. Let's take a look at a hot prospect here. Someone who may be making a major impact in the major leagues here before the season is up. For the Reds, we're going to take a look at Ellie De La Cruz. In the minors last year, he hit .304 with 87 runs, 28 homers, 86 runs batted in, 47 stolen bases. He's going to play likely second base or shortstop, maybe third. Best suited for category leagues because he does strike out a lot. He's got a high average and a wild bat. He profiles kind of similar to Bo Bichette, just maybe with a little bit more raw power. And 47 stolen bases here last year, of course, that is a monster amount here. He's definitely got 5-tool potential. Spencer Steer, Kevin Newman, and Matt Reynolds are ahead of him on the depth chart here. That doesn't really scream confidence in the Reds for reason to keep Ellie De La Cruz out of the lineup as the season progresses here. So I would imagine that you would see him make an appearance at some point. I would say probably give it 4 weeks or so, and he may end up on the Major League roster. Coming in at number 6, we're going to take a look at Pittsburgh and what that offense is doing. We got 2 players actually back-to-back here. At number 6, we're going to talk about Jack Sawinski, 45% owned, batting 6th in that lineup. Last week, he posted 3 runs, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in, 5 stolen bases, 421 average. He's made major strides so far in year 2. He's increased his walk rate, and he's got a strong batted ball profile. Of course, he's retaining flashes of power from last year there as well. With the way that the Pirates have been playing, they are almost a top third offense in the majors this year. That's going to bode well for Jack Sawinski owners here, as he's got a lock on that position, and he is playing really, really well here, at least to start the season. Up next at number 5, back to Pittsburgh, Ji-Hwan Bae, batting 8th in the lineup here, 42% owned, 5 runs, no homers, 1 run batted in here, 5 stolen bases, 375 average. He's your typical contact bat. He can play a couple positions, second base, of course, outfield in some formats. He's running wild to start the year. He does need to cut down on his K rate, though. He's a little high in that regard for somebody who's more of a contact batter. So he is going to need to bring that strikeout rate down there to have continued success this year. But it looks like at the very least you can count on him as being a solid source of steals. And if he can get towards the top of the lineup, he's going to be good for your team here as well in runs scored. At number 4, we're going to go to Minnesota, Joey Gallo, batting 7th on the team here, 51% owned, 4 runs, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in last week, 227 average. The New York curse might be a real thing. I mean, Joey Gallo was 3 for 8 and 2 homers in 3 games versus the Yankees this week. Still strikeouts a lot. You're going to know that firsthand if you've ever rostered Joey Gallo or seen him play. He's got a lot of holes in his swing here, but he's off to a great start this season. And he could finish with a serviceable batting average here and possibly 35 homers. So if you're looking for help in the power department, make sure you take a good hard look at Joey Gallo this season. Up next, we are going to go to Philadelphia. Matt Strom, 42% owned. Last week, he pitched 5 1/3 innings, 1 win, 5 strikeouts, no ERA, .38 whip. His transition to a starting pitcher here has been a resounding success. 148 opponent's batting average, .81 whip here in 23 1/3 innings. And he's only given up 2 homers so far this season, which had plagued him a little bit in the past there. He's got that kind of cut down. If he can keep up these numbers, he could be a potential SP3 in a lot of leagues. He certainly has the stuff. Take a look at him, of course. If you do need some starting pitching, he could prove to be very valuable on many rosters this season. At number 2, we're going to go to the Blue Jays. Yusei Kikuchi, 58% owned here. Last week, he pitched 5.2 innings, 1 win, 8 strikeouts, no ERA, .88 whip. His velo is up this year, and he's got much improved command so far in his starts. He's got wins versus the White Sox and the Yankees in his last 2 starts, and I think it was 11 strikeouts in about 11 innings pitched. I like the way that he's been pitching so far this year, and I really like the Jays' chances if Kikuchi can continue to have the success that he has been showing here, at least to start the season. And last but not least here, number 1, this should come as no surprise if you've been following Major League Baseball. You should really be taking a look at Brent Rooker, batting 3rd for Oakland, 62% owned currently. Last week he had 6 runs, 4 homers, 9 runs batted in, 348 average. Oakland currently ranks 13th in homers, carried by Rooker. He's the current centerpiece of that roster, and a centerpiece in any roster deserves to be on a fantasy squad. He's really has an excellent walk rate, and his batter ball profile right now is off the charts. If you can get him, please do not hesitate. I would get him in shallow leagues. I would get him in 16 leagues at this point, the way that he's playing. He definitely deserves a spot in any fantasy baseball squad. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this here. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't yet done so already. We are going to sign off for now, but we are going to catch you guys on our next episode.